Welcome to D-Mop Garage. It is raining and it's supposed to be summer and it sucks outside. That's why the door's shut. In today's episode, we're going to be working on a couple of things not really related to either of these projects, but we have to do a conversion here on a Speedo for Millie's 1973 bug. You can see it is in miles an hour, and unfortunately in Australia with the speed cameras and, 3 kilometres over and they'll get you. Yeah, not good. So we're going to convert this kilometres an hour face. Now, it isn't the exact correct one for it, but we're going to make it work. So that is one thing we're going to do in this episode. We're going to pull this apart, modify it, make it fit. The second thing we're going to do is we are going to flip these spindles, which are for the 64 panel van, which is going to become a 13 window. For Oven Boy. So we're going to do, these are 64 spindles. You can see they have the conical stub axle and the smaller nut on it. So for those interested in how to flip a spindle, now we're not going to be doing any welding. We can't do welding in Australia on these things. It's highly illegal. They will put you in jail. Yeah, you get in a lot of trouble. So we do it in a way where we're just doing little bits of clearancing on the pin and on the surface of the thingo, but yeah, definitely no welding involved. So let's get started. Now, these things have been already, they are still in their normal configuration, as you can see here, but they have removed the dust seals and they've also pressed out the inner race for the needle bearings. So we do have a new set of bearings here, or needle bearings and pins, right, and all the dust seals, so that's all cool. What we're going to have to do first is obviously pull these apart on the press, do our clearancing, and then press them back together again. Then obviously we're going to clean them up and go from there. So first things first, we've got to press these apart over on the press, so let's go over to that. Okay, so we're over at the press. What we do need to do this is obviously a solid piece of steel rod just to pop through that top section like that, and then we're going to, using this tang here and the tang there, we're going to press this bottom part off using our little tool that I've made. So basically we thread it up through here like this, rest that on there like so. You can actually give that a bit of a rotate. Then I've got this little janky piece of steel that I made, and this is going to sit on top like that, and it sits right on those tangs perfectly. And then all we do now is block up this section here. I'll just go and get some spacers for that. Okay, I'll just pop a bit of wood in there like so. We can actually bring this up a bit. It should be pressing apart. You don't want to bend things, of course. Double check. Yes, you can see there, she's almost out. So we'll just keep going. And there it is. Out she comes. You can see what ends up happening is you just press basically you're pressing the pin out. So that's one. We'll go and put that up on the table, and then we can do the second one.
Yeah? No.
Okay, number two. Okay. Place the pin on. Here comes the rain again.
Years later.
Okay, so she stopped raining. I thought I'll open the door because we're getting smoke in here from... I've had to put so much heat onto this second spindle, and you can see I've only moved it that much, and no way is this one coming off. This one came off, no problems at all. This one, pressing. I got about that far. and it destroyed the freaking press. Have a look what it did to it. It actually bent the whole thing sideways. Bloody hell. So now I've got to fix this. Can you see? That's there, and then that goes. So that's not good. It's definitely not supposed to look like that. So I will have to disassemble this and probably heat that up and get it straight again and put it all back together. That's a fail. So I'll have to take that one up to Oven Boy's place because he's got a 20-ton press. But yeah, I heated that up. No way was that coming apart. That's the first one I've ever had that's failed. And I've done about 10 sets on this thing. That's a bummer. Anyway, we'll take this one set up and at least we can get them sorted out. So let's go. So what has to happen now, just so everybody playing at home understands the flipping process. The flipping process! You can see that that's how it would have been from factory. Now what we do is we end up taking these out. We take this out. There's a fibre washer here that we have to reuse. We have to also knock out this plug that's underneath, and that's easier done than just popping it on here like this. I'll probably do it that way actually. Just drive a socket in there. Okay. And out she comes. Right. So what ends up happening is that plug that we just knocked out, what's going to end up happening is we are going to end up flipping the entire assembly so that instead of this coming through the top like that, it actually comes through like that from the other way. So it actually just flips the whole assembly upside down. So what ends up happening is that goes that way, and this is where the clearancing issue starts. So that's how it's going to end up. And there's your 2.5 inch lowered spindle. So that obviously gets pressed back in again. So what we're going to do first now is we're going to sandblast these, clean them up, paint them. Well, before we paint them, we're going to do a little bit of shaving just in this section here, a tiny little bit of movement of the material, and then we're going to end up shaving the pin, the tip of the pin here as well. So there's going to be a designated top and bottom pin. The bottom pin doesn't matter because it's going to be down here, but this top pin, we have to clearance the tip of it so that it clears when it wants to rotate. So first things, we'll just give this thing a clean up. Protect this face here, protect that face there as well, and also this needs to be cleaned up as well. Okay, bring you back in when they're all clean. Okay, so we've sandblasted the parts and cleaned them up pretty good. You can see we've also, as you can see, we've gone and installed the inner race. Now these were an absolute bear to get pressed in. They just did not want to go in at all. So I had this little piece here which I could pop it in like that and tap them home, but now that the press is stuffed, I've got to fix it. Anyway, so that's that part done. That's done. This part here, you can see I've come in here with the flap disc, just with a 40 grit on the flap disc, and I've just taken a little bit of material away here, and I'm talking not even a millimetre, just really tickled it, more so just up in this little corner here, and straight down the guts here, which is going to be the middle part of the of the domed cap that's going on. So a little bit of material off here. And then on the pin itself, I've taken material off the tip of the pin. Now, it's still thick enough, it's still strong enough, it's not going to be a problem. And also, you can see just on this little edge here, I've taken a little bit of material off that too. So what it all means, when you go and put it together, you'll see here that it clears. Now, I've gone and put 5 shims on the outer here. Now, it's normally never going to be at 5 or 6, and that's just the spacing of your two arms in the beam. I'd say it'd be probably more like 4 or 3 for this one, which means it'll actually bring it in and we'll have even more clearance than that. But as long as it's clearing, that's all we need to do. We're not butchering and hacking into this and then going and welding plates on the outside, because it's not a good idea. So that's a pretty safe way to do it. You can see we've got plenty of clearance here without any problems. So this one's ready now to be pressed back together. The inner bushes, the brass bushes on these are in really good nick, and there's no slop in these at all. They're actually really good. So I don't have to go and press out those and re-ream them like we did on the single cab spindles. So these can literally now just be pressed back together and give them a coat of paint, and they're good to go. So this one's pretty much finished. So the orientation, obviously the rubber seals are going to go into here and into here. This spacer sits in like that. And then of course this one is going to come in through the bottom here, and that gets pressed all the way home, making sure that your little indentation groove here lines up with where the bolt is going to go here, and that holds the whole system together. So yeah, these are pretty much ready to rock and roll. We'll give these a lick of paint and continue. Okay guys, so we're going to direct our focus onto this speedo gauge now. The other spindle, I'm going to have to take it to Oven Boys and use his 20-ton press because it's not coming apart. So anyway, we'll do this now. What you got to do this conversion, if anyone wants to do it, the issue is the kilometre numbers are a lot wider than what's on this one here. So you have to grind the back, take out this part. You can't use that. And then you've got to chop these little windows here out to make it that wide. So that'll end up going on top like that. And you can see how much more of the black that we've got to chop out so that you can read all the numbers. It's just, yeah, unfortunately the only mod that you got to do. So that's got to get done. We've also got to put some gels behind, coloured gels behind all the thingo, so I've got to find the rest of them. Anyway, we'll get this apart first. So we've got to come around the back, get a screwdriver. We've just got to pry up this aluminium that's been rolled over all the way around, and we'll do that, and then we can get the face apart. Two spoons. Don't break it. Then we just need then we take this off. And interesting that the gels are actually behind it, so we don't have to add any gels after all. That's pretty cool. All we've got to do is put it back together. Now you'll see when I go to replace this, they are different sizes, but they will work. But here's the clincher, is the Speedo. You can see in here that the holes line up to bolt it all back together, but you can see that the numbers don't line up, so we have to Dremel out this little section here. So out she comes. Put that aside. We'll hook up the Dremel. So you can see I've just chopped those the little window out. Now remember, the chrome is going to be over the top of it, so it will hide, because that is what we're going to be seeing. So I can actually afford to hack it out a bit more and not worry about what I'm doing. So okay, you can see there. And then of course, once we do this, we can now install this back in, like so. Just make sure we've got a nice clean area in here. Okay, so here comes the hard part. I'm just going to do this down on my feet here.
Butter hook.
Of course you had to do that, didn't you, you butter hook? Okay, that's what we're looking like so far. Now we've got to put the needle back on. Now, with the needle, you will notice that there is a little line just here. That's where you have to start the needle onto the spline, and then you need to get it up over the top of the peg there so that it puts the appropriate tension on the needle, and so that it gives you your right speed. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so just going to put this here. So that's good. Now what we're going to do is move forward. Now push down. And you can see, resting on the peg. That's how it should be. All right, now it's just a matter of reassembling everything back together. So glass, we'll clean that up a bit. Might just go and give this a bit of a buff up with some plastic polish, which I have right here. Do the other side as well. We're just using some of the Maguire's Plastic X. I'll just take out some of those scratches. Not perfect, but a lot better than it was. Definitely took out a lot of the discoloration. There is some deeper scratches in it, but you're not going to get those out. But anyway, that's good enough. Now the pegs go that way. There we go, we'll go and stick that into Millie's bug and we're good to go. Okay guys, well that'll do it for this episode. A bit of a slow one, but these things have to get done, so Merry Christmas, and we will catch you after the break. We'll be getting back onto these two and the ones up at Oven Boy's place, so stay tuned for all that and stay funky.